It's Dolphins mailbag time here. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports ready to answer all of y'all's questions. I posted on our YouTube community, hey, get your questions in here. I'll be able to feature them on the show. So what I ended up doing was taking my favorite questions. I'm going to be able to break them down here on today's episode. So Alpha Chad, you're first up here. And what do you think of the Dolphins taking Jaylen Waddle at number 6? Just a fun thought. Now, Jaylen Waddle has been a player that I know I've talked about multiple times here on this channel, and he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal wide receiver, and I would really be 100% okay with Miami going this route. The only reason why he's been kind of swept underneath the rug a little bit is because he battled a lot of injuries this past season. DeVonta Smith won the Heisman, and Jamar Chase is probably the top wide receiver in this class. Plus, you add on top of that, Kyle Pitts, a phenomenal athlete. Here's the thing, though. I don't really know if you can go wrong taking Waddle, Smith, Chase, or Pitts. I don't know if there is a wrong answer, but I am with you on this. Waddle does deserve a little bit more love here. So look at the first 4 games of 2020, okay? This is before he went down with the injury. Sure, receptions, that leads in favor of DeVonta Smith, but I'd probably rather have more yards between you and me. The average was higher. Touchdowns the same. Long, obviously, in favor of Jaylen Waddle. And when I really look at what Miami's trying to do, they probably need more of a slot wide receiver, a little bit more than an outside receiver. Both Waddle and Smith could play that role. But if you're looking for the next potential Tyreek Hill, and I hate saying that because it's a very, very high comparison, but I actually think Waddle could be the closest thing that I've seen to the next Tyreek Hill. Let's go to my man, Caden S., always asking awesome questions. I appreciate it, my dude. Do you think Tua and Fuller will be a top 15 quarterback wide receiver duo? The answer to that is no, but I thought maybe the better question to go ahead and ask, which is something that I'm going to get into here, is Will Fuller, Tua, and DeVonta Parker, is that a top 5 wide receiver trio? Now, Fuller's a good player. They ended up bringing him in here in free agency, gave him a 1-year contract, $10 million. And if he can stay healthy, this guy is truly a top 15 style of receiver. Great speed, great field stretching ability, and with Tua's ability to throw the deep ball, I appreciate your question. So what do you think about this? Is Tua, DeVonta Parker, and Will Fuller a top 5 trio? So quarterback, 2 wide receivers. I want you to go down in the comments. Let me know Y for yes or N for no. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to type my N for no. I think they are good players. I think they are up and coming. But when I really think about the top quarterback wide receiver trios in the league, Wilson, DK Metcalf, Lockett, that's number 1. Brady, Evans, and Godwin, 2. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley's 3 on my board. Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, and Justin Jefferson, that's 4. And if I can see a little bit more out of CeeDee Lamb, you could really see Dak, Cooper, and Lamb go a little bit higher on my list. Let's go to Jaden Calendar. Speaking of calendars, what month is your birthday? Everyone go down in the comments. Let me know. I'm February. Do you think Tua will take this big jump that is expected by his teammates and his fans? So you're going back to some of the things that I believe Byron Jones said about him. I believe another teammate said that, yes, you're anticipating a big jump here from Tua. And when you look at his numbers in last season as a rookie, there's a lot of improvement. The reason why I'm confident, the reason why a lot of people out there are confident that he's going to take that jump is because, 1, a lot of times you get better in year 2, and I don't really think that 2020 is going to be as crazy as 2021 at least. Oh my goodness, I hope not. So you get more time with your teammates, more time with your coaches. Realistically, he's also not rehabbing anymore, at least I hope not from an injury that I don't know of. Is Tua going to be better? Yes, I'm confident saying that he's going to be better. Plus, his receiving options and hopefully his offensive line are going to be a lot better also. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and subscribe, I would really appreciate it here. Help us get to 14,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you are already subscribed, type sub in the comments. That way I can see what's going on. And if you haven't subbed yet, seriously, do it. And if you are a loyal sub, take that link that you see below, youtube.com/DolphinsNews. Whether you're looking for the latest news and rumors, whether you want to know more stuff around free agency, or the draft is ramping up, so we have ramped up our draft coverage here, go ahead and subscribe. That link is below, youtube.com/DolphinsNews. Let's go to secretive. I believe I got that right. If the Dolphins take Kyle Pitts, what do you think is going to happen to Mike Gesicki? Great question. Mike Gesicki is probably one of the more underrated tight ends in all of football. 6'6", 250 pounds. If you want to look at numbers, go look at what this guy did at the NFL Scouting Combine. He put up numbers that you can't actually even believe. It's like when you put him all together, he turns out to be somebody it's like Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and Odell Beckham Jr. when you look at all the metrics. Now, is he that talented of a player? No, not compared to some of those guys. But it's coming off a year where he had 53 catches, 6 touchdowns, a solid producer. But what actually happens to him, I think he just gets bumped down a little bit. And if Miami wants to go ahead and run 2 tight end sets, or if they want to put, I don't know, Kyle Pitts out there as that other receiver, that's what you're going to do. Because Gesicki and both Kyle Pitts, they're playmakers. So I love the question, though. It's not been one that we have gotten yet here on this channel. Now, Kyle Pitts, I don't know if he's going to be the guy put on the hat. Maybe Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Jaylen Waddle, DeVonta Smith. I don't know. That's where I would put my money. But if you guys want to go ahead and wear the draft hats, seriously, go to chatsports.com/Dolphins Draft. It's going to be in the comments. It's going to be in the description. Whether you like the flat bill, whether you like the curved brim, fitted hat, adjustable hat, all different styles here. It's available at the link that you guys see on screen, chatsports.com/Dolphins Draft. Let's go to my man Kirk. What up, Kirk? Get a pick. I feel that we'll get Pitts at 6. Do you think that taking Dickerson at 18 is a reach? I mean, we need a center. You're right. The Dolphins do need a center. You're right about that. So potentially taking the top center in this year's draft, Landon Dickerson, for some people it might be a little bit of a stretch at 18. Is he a great player? Yes, no doubt about it. 6'6", 325-pounder. He allowed 1 sack last season, 2 hits, and 2 hurries. And when I look at my top center prospects, Dickerson is the top guy on my board. Now, I actually don't know if a single center does get taken in round 1, but I will say this. If a center does get taken in round 1, it will be Dickerson. He actually might still be there at 36, but what do you guys think about this? Is it too early to pick him at 18? If it is a major need, which center's a need. I don't know if it's just like major need considering to some of the other spots on the roster. But I want you to type 1 for yes, 2 for no. Is taking him there a little bit early? I'm actually going to go ahead and say 1 for yes, it is. Good player. But I'm a believer and I'm a risk taker that if you really wanted them, you could probably get him at pick 36. All right, Cody Pike, what's up, my dude? Pitts and Chase off the board, and it's our turn to pick at 6. Who do we take? I say Smith. You're talking about DeVonta Smith here. So basically, this is the way that I think the draft board is going to fall. The first 2 picks, there are no doubt, all right? You Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. Then the 3rd pick could either be Mac Jones, it could be Justin Fields. For this, argument's sake, it's going to be Mac Jones. And then you said Pitts and Jamar Chase. So this way could go anything, right? So basically, that's a pick between DeVonta Smith, Jaylen Waddle, or the guy that I'm going to go up and picking here at number 6 if I'm Miami. It's Penei Sewell. If you've watched the show before, you'll know that this is the route I would go just because I'm trying to be able to protect Tua's blind side. I'm trying to be able to find a tackle that I think can be an instant starter right away. He's only 21 years old, and he's not even 21 yet. He's turned 21 in October, which is really spooky. If you could tell me that I could find a Pro Bowl tackle and all-pro tackle in this year's draft, I think the best chance of doing that is finding the kid out of Oregon who allowed 1 sack in 2 years. Like, he's absolutely phenomenal. Let's go to JC Sick. If Fields or Lance are there at 6, what can the Dolphins get from Denver or Detroit? We can still get one of the 2 offensive linemen or one of the 3 wide receivers unless their heart is set on Pitts. Any chance Minnesota moves up for a quarterback? I don't think Minnesota moves up for a quarterback personally. And yes, there's a very deep offensive line class. You can still get one of the wide receivers. So I'll stick here with your first question. What exactly would a trade look like with Detroit? So remember, Dolphins are at 6. Detroit's at number 7. Let's say they have a quarterback that they desperately want and they want to trade up. This is basically the trade value chart of how much it's going to cost. And to drop down 1 pick, you get an extra 3rd rounder. I actually don't think it's that bad. For Denver here, if they want to move up here, they actually might be willing to give up even a little bit more, especially if it is indeed for a quarterback. But for the Dolphins, this could be a team that easily adds a lot more draft capital. They could also be a team that is, well, very, very aggressive because of all the draft capital they have. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of both of those trades. Let's go to Mike here. Mike, this is going to be the last question on the show, and as a reminder, I always ask you all, hey, submit your questions. It says trade up for Trevor. Okay, you really want to know how much it's going to cost to trade up for Trevor Lawrence. So again, all these picks that you see, they have values to them. So go ahead and look at them at the trade value chart. But if you're doing that, you're also basically totally giving up on Tua. This is what I believe it would cost to go up and get Trevor, and if we're being real, the Jags still might say no to you. So the Jaguars, you receive Tua. You get the first-round pick at 6. You get the other first-round pick at 18, and then you got to give up another first-round pick in 2022. If you think it's too much, then you're not going to go ahead and get Trevor Lawrence because, like I said, it still might not be enough. And then the final thing we're going to bring up here is because I love YouTube and I love everyone being creative. So the comment that we just shown up on screen, actually, Sam, if you could go to the last one, Mike put this. He said, trade up for Trevor. The very first comment to Mike is this. Laugh out loud, STFU. If you don't know what STFU means, well, you also have Google. I'm sure you could look it up. But I'm testing y'all, okay? I want to see who made it to the very, very end of the video. So if you did make it to the end of the video, I'm going to shut the F up, and I want you to go down in the comments and type STFU.